Anthony. Well, good morning to everyone. It is, I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited. There's so much happening right now. I mean, today's a big day for me because it's my mother's 100th birthday. So today is my mom's birthday, January the 28th, and she would have turned 100 today. But you know, guys, as we get started, 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks from today, have y'all thought about that? I got up this morning thinking about the 11th and all the things that we're doing between now and then. And there's just so much excitement in the air. And with the Catalyst Club, and by the way, I'm still too low tech. I mean, Kristal's got her Catalyst Club staying up. Somebody have to talk me through this. I can't figure out. Maybe my computers are just too old. I already texted Kristal, you got to help me with technology because I'm worried Anthony wasn't going to make it, but he's here. I'm always panicked when I have to work with technology. So, Coach Palmer, I mean, if you're already a Catalyst member, I want to say this. I wasn't that impressed with all that. I'm trying what does a catalyst even mean? I was trying to learn what all these things were. I'm like, I'm not very educated. So I'm like, what is all this? And my goodness, has it been an amazing thing that's going on? We still got some time left. And if you're a catalyst, you've already made, it doesn't matter what your level, even if you're just back almost there, put a 1 in the chat that you have made your level. If you're a catalyst 3, put a 3 in there after you've done 1. Come back and do a 3. Catalyst 2, put 2 in there. If those haven't noticed my comments, I've been putting the boxing glove up. If you get, most people have not noticed, but if you're a Catalyst 1, I give you 1 glove. And if you're Catalyst 2, I'll give you 2 gloves. And if you're Catalyst 3, I give you the 3 gloves. So I've been doing that consistently, but nobody's picked up on it. But that's all right. So Brent, why don't you tell us what's about to happen? You said you got something hot off the press. So we're going to turn it to Coach and let him tell us what he's got going.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's really not me. It's something the company is doing. And Chris, I love what you said. Like, first of all, congratulations to everybody that has made the Catalyst Club. And the excitement on that, Chris, is the company's getting ready to let everybody know the goodies that are coming with being in this Catalyst Club. You know, it's one thing to get in the group. It's another to start figuring out what it actually comes with and the lifetime benefits that it comes with. And so I say that, but then I think about the people that's still striving to get into the Catalyst Club. Maybe put a CC in the comments if you're on your way. Maybe you've gotten, a couple of customers or a couple of brand partners, but you hadn't quite hit that VIP 1 yet. Hey, let me tell you something. We are look at all this, Chris. Look at all the CCs that are running to achieve Catalyst Club. And we've got till the 31st to do it. And I know all of you are going to make it happen. And I know all of your upline and leadership and people are surrounding you, making calls, doing what they got to do to get you across the finish line. But in saying that, so this is hot off the press. Nobody knows about this. The company will actually come out with this probably next week. You'll see it early. But February the 3rd, Friday, February the 3rd, there's going to be a special exclusive call for all of the Catalyst Club. And on this call, there's going to be, I guess, the unveiling of just what it all represents, what's all happening, the things. And so the executives are coming to you on Friday, February the 3rd, an exclusive call. It'll be the first ever call, but the first of many calls for the Catalyst Club. Think about this, Chris. Think about, we do a partners council. We do a founders club call. Think about a Catalyst Club, like a town hall for the Catalyst Club, where there's exclusive insights of what's going on in the company, what's coming in the company. So just there's a lot of exciting announcements to come. February the 3rd, first ever Catalyst Club call for our new company. And Chris, I'm going to turn it back to you and I'll be quiet. I just want to say this. You talked about being grateful. We sold our company a couple of years ago, and we came to be a part of this company. All the people on this Zoom. And Chris, you opened the doors to this Saturday morning call and said, you know what? You came to Florence, Alabama to sit down with me and look me in the eye to see if I could be trusted. We're still kind of deciding if that's the case. But at the end of it, you said, I want us all to work together. And it has been a special journey. Ken Bailey's like a brother to me. Todd Rowland's like a brother to me. And I know me and Dr. Kristal Vance are on here each Saturday as a host. And but I just want everybody on this Zoom to understand, thank you for setting up that culture, Chris Doyle, of blurring the lines of sponsorship and just working together to build the biggest company. And I think you set it in motion a couple of years ago, and we have not even seen the skyscraper that is coming because of people like you. So thank you. I'm grateful for you, your leadership, and what you do.
Oh, thank you, Brent.
And I know you don't want to hear that.
No, well, I appreciate that, but it's fun to me to be with all these folks. And as we drafted Dr. Kristal, I said, don't make any comments until you know. So she's here, and and if you represent everybody here, and by the way, Todd Rowland is. When I say things are busy, Coach Rowland is in a studio shooting videos right now. There is so much happening here. I mean, he ain't missed a Saturday calling. Now he's missed 2 weeks in a row because of so much momentum and things happening. But we're so excited that you're here, and there's so much going on with the company. And I got to get to our first guest quickly because she has a limited amount of time. And I've already asked Dr. Kristal to help me work with her on this interview. But Jen Stasel, and I'm going to say, I hope I pronounced her name right. She's on my team. Hadn't had many guests from my team lately, but Jen is she's someone who's been on my team for a couple of years. Not an easy person to get on board. Anthony, can you upgrade Jen so we can see her? There she is, and she's actually in her store. And look behind her, you see Slenderized Drops. This lady owns Quench Juice. Now, for those who don't know who Quench Juice is, you can Google search it. But she is look at that, Moa. So I'm going to tell real quick how I met her. Someone set up an appointment. And you talk about being a little bit intimidated. I'm told I got an expert here on nutrition, and I knew right off the bat, most of you know, I know the comp plan inside and out. But when it comes to ingredients and why our products work, oh my goodness, I knew I was in for one. We met at Starbucks, and of course, immediately she started asking questions I could not answer. But I found out the answers. She was looking at our Giving Greens, was the first product we talked about. But she's gone from Giving Greens to MOA to selling Renew out of her store as well. But, for those that don't know, she actually squeezes fresh juice. And I don't really know exactly, Jen, I know you happened there. Okay, Anthony, help me. Somebody's may have to mute everybody. What happened there? You may have to unmute again, Jim, because Anthony did mute all the lines, so unmute again. So Jen is a person who uses nutrition to help people. You're not unmuted yet, Jen. She's a person who absolutely helps people with nutrition with their health. That's what I want to use the wording. But Jen, why don't you tell what you do, and then I want you to talk about, I'm going to give you an order. I want you to talk about Renew, because that is a new product that you pretty well try everything. I mean, my daughter's been coming to you, and y'all been friends for a long time. And she didn't recruit you. Funny. She knew you and she didn't ask you. Isn't that funny? So that's a lesson to be learned there. Kristen, you're better than the other lady. Yet Jen's here because of Trina. So Jen, tell us a little bit about Renew and why you're so excited about what that product does.
I'm really excited about Renew because I love that it has the amino acids in it and the combining of the amino acids to help the body to absorb protein better. So there are a lot of people that I see. I'm a biofeedback practitioner, so I see a lot of people that cannot digest their food well because, you can take in all the good food and products you want. If you can't absorb them, then you're not going to get the power of the nutrition. So the Renew helps you to skip a step because the amino acids are there. The protein's already broken down. You put it it's in a powder form and you mix in a liquid. So it's easily absorbable. So I see so many people who have wonderful results from the Renew for muscle strength, for rebalancing. There's a lot of people that come in with what I would call, I can't diagnose anything, but it looks like a vertigo, dizziness type thing. The Renew has been wonderful to help them with that. And I know it's because of the amino acid combination. Their body doesn't have to go through all that 8 steps of process of breaking down the proteins and administering them into the muscles, the liquid goes right to where it needs to go. The body knows what to do with it. It's already broken down. So I love it for that reason, plus all the other things that, have been determined and listed on the sheets that, we have been given, or the ads, or whatever you want to call them. But that's what I have found working with people who are really struggling with their muscle strength. So they see it really quickly. I have a lot of people come in with MS and different diagnoses that they've received from their medical professional. And the first thing I tell them about is Renew, and they just love it. And then again, not to mention all the things that we already know about it. That's just something that I discovered on my own working with clients.
Well, I asked Dr. Kristal to interview you because I didn't want to ask any questions I wouldn't even know how to ask. So.
Oh, no, you know what? I was just thinking here, as you were talking, you have so much knowledge, and you have a brick and mortar store that's about nutrition. So obviously this became another lane for you. I was sort of the same way with my chiropractic, making a second lane with skills that I already had. It just became another point of income. And I want our people that are here or that are watching to realize that they have their own store, just like you do. You have the brick and mortar, and yet you're like, I want this alongside of it. And so I know there's questions. It's all about, right? They tell us to listen. So all these people are running for Catalyst Club right now, right? We've got 4 days left. When people walk into your store, what would you say is the question, or maybe the questions that you lead with, then you know where to direct them to Renew, to like how do they know where to go?
Well, first of all, when they walk in, that's what they see is Renew. So they immediately want to know, what is that? I also have it set up for the sample packs sitting there. So they see that and they know they can try it. So that gets it going. Secondly, they always come in to me. I'm kind of like the last person people come to see after they've been everywhere else.
I understand that.
Usually have questions for me right off the bat. One, depending on what their ailment is, but I always tell them, boost up your liver, your eliminatory organs. Start with that. Get your sleep. Well,
Okay, so if someone was going to boost up their liver, what is the product that you're like, hands down, this is where you start?
Right, definitely Renew. Definitely. And I also, can you have 1 minute? I also like to tell them that it's an overall product. I mean, it does many things, but in order for anything to regenerate, you have to sleep. And so this product is incredible for helping you sleep. So I start.
So Jen's having to run the store by herself. Am I right?
Right.
So she has you're good.
So she's got a customer, so we're going to let her take care of business.
Let's highlight Kristen, and Kristen's our other guest, and I'm going to have her, since she's here a little earlier than she was supposed to be. Kristen said she couldn't get here and her and Jen work together in business. So Kristen, do you mind talking about, as a workout? Now, we just talked to somebody about health issues, but Kristen is someone who does not, she never thought she even wanted it. And I wanted you just to give your testimonial, Kristen. Do you mind doing that? I think I saw her here anyway. Maybe she's not here.
I don't think she's not here right now.
And she's gone
Maybe she
now.
was just checking her link. But the one thing,
Oh,
let's just go here. Yeah, she's back. There she is. I think she just got bumped out. She's in the waiting room, Anthony. But she didn't know she's going to be the first one up because of what's going on. So, Kristen, we put you straight up. You didn't know it. I told you 9:30, but you're driving, and that's okay. But Jen had a customer come in. So, I want you to talk about your personal, you just left the gym after teaching the class. Am I right? Kristen?
Okay, can you hear me?
Now we can. You're good. You're back.
Okay.
Sorry, I was in like a dead spot because yes, I just left the gym and I had to like log out and re-log back in. So I hope everyone can hear me now.
We can. So why don't you talk about why you're using Renew? And I think your story is powerful because you weren't someone, everybody knows you're my daughter, and you thought I needed it, but you didn't think you did.
Yeah, so you just want me to start from the beginning on why I love Renew, I guess.
That's it. That works.
Okay. All right. So I got obviously into Renew in October of 2021 at convention, and I literally did not think I needed Renew at all because I'm in my 30s. I thought it was the old people product, but I said I'll get a box. It was on a deal. We all got introduced to it first. So I was like, I'll try it, see what it is. I can at least try to market it to some of my I was literally like, I'll market it to some of my older clients, but I do like to be able to tell people, what it tastes like. I always want to tell people, make sure it doesn't cause any stomach upsetness. I'm just particular. Before I can market something, I do want to try it first, no matter what it is. So anyways, I got a box and I literally just thought it was going to be one. I'm sorry, it's not really, I see her saying ouch. It's not really that. It's just, there's some products you think are going to be performance products, some things you think are going to be skin products. HGH, if it's marketed as to get your HGH levels up, I just thought it was going to be someone that an older person would benefit from. A younger person, why would they think they needed HGH if they already have an abundance of it? So it was going to be something I didn't think I could sell to a young person. I was wrong. But anyways, before I can market it, I needed to try it. I thought it was going to be a one box for me. And I was completely wrong about that. I have not stopped using Renew since October of 2021. The first night I used it, I slept better. I'd already had sleep issues. I was waking up multiple times a night, never slept through the night. I was one of those people who woke up, looked at the clock at 1 a.m., then re-looked at the clock at 1:30 a.m., maybe looked at the clock at 2:30 a.m., maybe fell asleep again by 3:30, and then you got to get up at 6, and then you have anxiety about being able to fall back asleep. That was not it. So I took Renew the first night and I slept literally all the way through the night. I thought it was a fluke. I was tired. Then the next night I used it again and realized it was turning into a pattern. So I knew automatically if it's going to help me sleep better, I'm hooked on it, right? For many reasons, because if I can just sleep better, I'm going to recover better. I'll feel better. I'll have better energy just from getting sleep. I didn't really think about everything else that was in it. There's some static in the background. I don't know what that is. Is that me?
I'm not sure. I don't see it.
Okay. Anyway, so I was hooked on the product for the fact that it was going to help me sleep better. Stayed on it for the month. At the end of the month, I realized things were starting to change besides just my sleep patterns. I am what people would consider the gym junkie person. So I monitor everything. I have the fancy watches. It's a Garmin watch, so it tracks everything. It tells me all my statistics, when I'm running faster, when I'm making different gains, and I just track things. So I was getting notifications that you're trending faster on your runs. My lifts were getting heavier. I'm not doing anything different in the gym. I wasn't training through anything. Actually, I was still considering myself in recovery because I'd had a surgery the year before. And so I consider, not even a year before, excuse me, I'd had a surgery at that time 2 months before. So I was considering myself kind of like rebounding, trying to heal. But then I started not just healing, I was actually doing things better. So I was like, there's got to be a connection. I realized it's got to be that Renew. So obviously I'm going to be hooked again. That was 28 days after. So let's keep going. I stayed on the product. I've stayed on the product, obviously since October of 2021, but it's like every 3 months I notice new things were happening. I ran, and I've told this story multiple times, but it's just a huge story for me because I ran a local race here. It's a 10K race in a little town, surrounding town from where I live. And I ran this race when I was 26 years old and I won it. It's the fastest I've ever ran. I don't actually consider myself a super fast runner. I don't train to run. I'm a naturally kind of quick runner, but not like what you would consider like super fast people who go win like marathons and things. But I ran a local race when I was 26 and I won it. It was a 10K, and I ran it again. I've ran it almost every year since then. Never come close to getting the same time. And I ran it this past year, and I not only won it again, but I beat my time when I was 26. I didn't train for it. I just did it. I just went out there, and I always go on rate of perceived exertion, and I literally just give it the best I have every time when I go out there. Well, my best was better than it was when I was 26. So I was like, there's got to be a connection, right? And I really attribute it to this product. My stamina was better. My endurance was better. I just feel like I was able to uptake oxygen better. My lactic thresholds were better. And I just feel like it is like a youthful product and getting younger. So most people would say, yes, the athletic performance is going to be what I consider to be the key seller in my gym. What is like my favorite thing about the product, and it is one of my favorite things. But if you look at the back of that box, it says stamina, physical performance, endurance, skin, heart, and all that stuff. But the biggest thing for me about the product is I feel like I look better. I had a lot of skin damage when I was younger. I had a lot of sunburns. You see, we're very fair complected. You can see my dad. My mom's about the same shade as us, and I had skin sun blisters. And they were my fault. But in my teenage years, I got out in the sun, didn't put on sunscreen, and I got sun blisters all over my face. And so naturally, when you get older, you start seeing the sun damage that comes out. Well, I've had dark spots that started coming out in my mid-30s. And if some of you women know, they like sometimes can get hard and crusty. They actually feel like scabs out on your face that you have to have lasered off. And I was actually set to have them lasered off. About 6 months ago, I had talked to a dermatologist. He priced me how much they were going to be, and it was going to be a few $1,000s, but they felt ugly to me. I could feel them. They were rough. I always picked on them. They were scaly almost. It almost felt like, like a reptile. I wouldn't even say that, but they were rough. They were rough patches. I covered them up all the time with makeup, was very insecure about them. And one day I was just driving, and I'd been on the product, I guess about 9 months. And I was just driving in my car, picking on them like I always do. And it just peeled off in my face. Like it just peeled off from my face and my hand, like a little scab. Just the skin patch just came off. And I was like, that's weird. And I looked and, I pulled my mirror down and I looked at it and I was like, holy cow, the little patch of skin just came off. It has never grown back. That has now been about 6 months ago. I had 2 of them. They both, the second one peeled off about a week later, and they were still a little bit red and dark under there. They weren't scaly anymore. And now they're almost like the dark spots are almost non-existent. And again, it's like another thing. It's just like another little symptom of taking Renew or side effect. It's just, this is the biggest side effect to me, or the biggest thing for me about the product is I don't feel like I have to wear makeup to go to the grocery store. I actually feel pretty in my own skin again. And I feel like it's just getting that youthful look coming back. So to feel confident, obviously we want to feel confident in our body. It's one reason we work out. But ladies, I know our skincare is a big thing. It's why women get Botox, fillers, and we get all that stuff done to our face. So that is the biggest thing for me, is to just feel like I look pretty. And anyways, that is a huge one for me, and I'll never get off the product for that. And I can't wait. I mean, I just cannot wait to see what the next the thing will be, because if it's coming out on the outside, can you imagine what my heart's doing and what my kidneys are doing and my liver's doing? Like, it's just amazing. So it is by far my favorite product. It used to be MOA. I used to be completely on MOA. Like, you could never sway me that was not going to be my most favorite product. But this one does slightly trump it for me now. So that is my renewed testimony. I've been on it a long time.
You're muted, Chris.
Yeah, you're muted, Dad.
I am. I mean, I told Anthony to make sure everybody's muted, and he muted me, of course. Jen just texted me. She said she had a customer that walked in. She overheard the Renew conversation, and she sold a box to Renew. And now she has another customer in the store because she came back to the screen and she's now got another customer. But Kristen, as a workout person, most people, I'm gonna say this about you. She is an over exerciser. Sorry, that's the best way to describe it. Whatever we do in our family happens to be one of those things that we do extreme. And I got worried about her. I was ready to think she needed to get counseling, because when y'all do not understand, when I say she exercises, I'm not talking about like it's like her job. She works out multiple hours every day, 6 days a week. Today's Saturday. She did classes this morning. I told somebody she did a workout, then she went and rode her bike like 80 miles. That's not unusual at all. She worked out and then ran the gym. So tell us, as a workout person, because a lot of people are on here to know. So what is your go-to product? And you said MOA. I want you just to talk about what you're using. I know you did a shop live about some stuff, but I want you to talk about your favorite, what got you so hooked on the products, why you're so serious.
So my favorite just go-to products daily.
Daily. Yeah, let's tell people what you take daily. Let's go through the list, because I've been there when you were out for surgery.
Oh, you don't want the top like 3 or 5?
Yeah, just go for the top 3 or 5.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's better. My top 5, I'll just have to do 5 because
Hold on, I'm gonna stop you a second. Time out. Jen has got a minute. I want to get her back on. I'm sorry, I can do that to you because my
yeah,
dog.
please.
Jen, pop you back up. Jen, I want you to talk about, because you're just listening to Kristen as someone who's younger, and you and I are not younger. You're not as old as me, but I want you to talk about the Renew a little bit but I want you to talk about the drops, because we've talked about Renew. Kristen's talked about Renew. You had a special thing happen because you used the slenderized drops, and they may have. I don't think that was something you were even looking at when you first started, but you and Kristen talked about it. Talk about the drops, what they did for you, and what's in them that does that. And I'm going to turn it back to Dr. Kristal because she'll elaborate. You have to unmute. Maybe already.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Yes, the slenderized drops probably is what really got me interested in the business side, because I was in trouble with menopause. I was hemorrhaging, and I couldn't even figure out what to do about it. I was working with naturopath doctors. I was working with the scientists that designed my system that I use, the biofeedback system. And Kristen came in one day. She was like, well, have you tried these drops? They're hormone balancing. And it just took me back. And the next part, you're probably going to shake your head, but I had the drops at home. I just wasn't taking them. So one lesson, if you have them, they work a lot better if you take them. I don't mean that smart aleck, but that was me. So anyway, I started taking them, in three days, my problem was better. It was actually solved. I can say that because that's the facts. I didn't have any more trouble, and I haven't had any trouble since, and it's been a couple years. So I highly recommend them if you have any kind of hormone imbalance. I can't say that they treated or cured anything, but they sure made things get in balance for me. So I sell probably more of them than anything in this store, for starters, because it's slenderized sounds like a weight loss program. I don't really push it as a weight loss. I push it more as a body balancing. I like Kristen brought that up, and I like that she said that, and I kind of use that more because it does a lot more than just, if you need to lose weight, you will, but if you follow the program. But I love it for balancing of the hormones.
I love that. Yeah, I love that you said that, because so many people get stuck on the fact that it's a weight loss product. And if you think about it, if your hormones are working and your digestion is working and your sugars are balanced, then wouldn't you be healthier, meaning that you would lose weight. So it's there are things the ripple effect that those drops help the most. So I know, Jen, I know we asked Kristen this, but what would you, I was like, I don't want to interrupt. I was going to say, what would you say are your top 5 products that are your best sellers moving? And maybe I should have Kristen answer that. Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, sorry. I love Rejuvenex every day, a couple of times a day for my ADD. It helps me tremendously to focus. I drink MOA twice a day. I have it in here. I sell it in here. Of course, Renew is all over the store, except I'm almost sold out. And Slender Eyes, I have it in here. And I just started these Elite Drop or packets. And so those are my ones. If I take it, I promote it. And then some, because I know that the company is authentic. So anything that someone mentions to me that I may have in here, like the probiotics that I may not even have, I let them know about it. And probiotics is one of my main go-tos as well. So.
Well, she makes a probiotic. I mean, so it's not like she doesn't. She knows her.
If I use something, I use this one, the one from this company. And I didn't just a minute. I got people standing in here.
It's all right.
All right.
Go back to your thing. We'll finish up, and we appreciate you jumping on. I know that you were busy. You warned me already it was going to be this way, but we appreciate it. I mean, you got to realize what they do for a living. They're a nutrition store. So Jen thinks we'll have her back. Kristen, we're going to bring let you come back and finish what we started with you. And I'll let Dr. Kristal and maybe Ken Bailey ask some questions, or Coach Palmer. I don't know what happened to him. He left just a minute, so he may still be here. Are you unmuted?
Okay, yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Do you want me to tell my top 5 favorite?
Yeah, for a workout for people that's into the.
For fitness purposes, my top 5 go to first is probably MOA for recovery purposes. So it's going to give you a foundation of good nutrition, which we all need. It's going to give you your superfoods and good inflammation fighters. So when you are exercising a lot, you're going to cause inflammation. And if you can get that inflammation down, you'll be able to recover faster, which means your strenuous exercise can be repeated quicker. So your downtime or your recovery time will be will just be sped up. Okay, so that's important. So you can just train harder more consecutive days, or train harder or longer the day you work out. So MOA for me is going to be number 1 for recovery purposes. Renew is right there with it. It's obviously going to help with stamina, endurance. Obviously, again, some recovery purposes too. We know HGH is going to help with boosting all of that. It's going to help with your protein synthesis, which is important when your body is just making muscle. So again, Renew is going to be put in there as well. Rejuvenex, that's a go-to. I pop up every morning, 6:20. 4 of those go in my mouth within about 4 minutes of being awake. And I do that instead of drinking energy drinks. So we go to Rejuvenex. I also sometimes do Blue Frog too. So kind of toss, I always do Rejuvenex. Let me just go ahead and say that. Sometimes I do both. I'm not even going to lie. I like caffeine. Not suggesting everybody does that, but Rejuvenex is definitely there for me. I've used Rejuvenex since, I guess it came out back in, oh no, that was one of the starting products probably that when I first started using the products in 2013. I think Rejuvenex was one of the first ones on board. So I've been using it for, I guess, 9 years, 10 years. Rejuvenex. So let's see, I've got MOA, Renew, Rejuvenex. Now, some people would probably be surprised, but I'm putting, it's not one of the funnest products, but I'm putting Bio Pro Q in there. If you don't know that, or if you haven't implemented it, it's the CoQ10 supplement, and our bodies need CoQ10, and after about a certain age, it just starts getting depleted. Your body doesn't make as much of it. It's something you naturally make. You can also get it from foods, but it's good to start supplementing with it, especially at a certain age, or if you do high levels of activity. And you can get it from your foods, but if you're not going to eat enough of it, it's good to supplement with it. So what CoQ10 does is going to be the generator to help your body make ATP, which all of your cells need ATP. It's the actual energy source that your body needs to function, all of your cells. So that's going to be super important when you're exercising to fire your cells. So I think CoQ10 is super important for just delivering ATP on a cellular level and also recovery. So the CoQ10, I actually take 4 of those a day. And let me think of my 5th one for performance. Y'all just don't understand how many products I take. So this is super hard.
Kristen, what do you sell the most at the gym? I saw somebody post something about Elite. I know you got customers that just look, when we ran out of Elite, just about had a stroke.
Oh my gosh, I literally I'm checking Elite twice a day right now to see if it's gone back in stock. My highest sellers are MOA, believe it or not, the probiotic, and Rejuvenex, Elite, and Burn. Oh, okay, Burn's number 5. Of course, I knew there was one in there. It's so hard for me to do, because I wanted to almost said Noni, but gosh, because y'all don't understand always say everything's my favorite, but Burn is probably 5th. I break my fast. I do intermittent fasting, and I break my fast every morning with a Burn after I work out, because it gives me another little caffeine lift. It gives me my collagen protein. It gives me that fiber, gives me the fucoidin. It tastes good. It's a little bit fuzzy. I like carbonated drinks, but I don't drink Coke and I won't drink Sprite for obvious reasons, right? So it makes me feel like I'm getting a treat, but it's still good for me. So Burn, I literally cannot keep Burn in stock. I get cases, I'll get 12 cases on a Monday, and they will all be gone by a Wednesday. They just fly. I have to put 2 back for myself every time if I want to keep them. So those are probably my top 5. And, I can get on but I literally take it all. And I do no need use. I do the sugar stop. I do the probiotics. I do the Magna-Cal D. I do the Vinali. I do the optimals. And I don't tell everybody that that's what they should do. It's just the problem is when you start one, and then you start like foundational nutrition, then you start layering, and then you start feeling the change in your body. It's really hard to let go of something when you know the difference it's making. And you just have to invest in your health. And I just choose to invest it there. And I'll live without a new Louis Vuitton bag. Sorry, it's just not my priority to have a nice handbag. My priority is just somewhere else, and I just choose different where I spend my money, and it's there. And it is a budget thing, but it's just what I have to do to keep that. I just want to keep it in my body. So I'm not telling everybody they should take 13 products a day. Choose the ones you really like. And then when you start realizing I should have a little extra vitamin C, maybe you should choose the Vinali. If you have something else, you need a calcium supplement, then you choose that. I just can't seem to let anything go, and that might just be my obsessive personality as well.
Hey, Chris.
Yes, I was going to ask you.
I got to jump in. I got to jump in on Kristen, because it's a combination of Kristen things that I've heard from her at events, and Dr. Kristal that I've heard from her, because she's like my sister. So she's like the nagger in my life. Andrea Rosser nags me on. I was a coach. I love French fries, cheese dip, nachos, everything you get at a sporting event I grew up on, right? And coached around. Then I get in this business, and how many of you are sitting there right now as Kristen's laying out the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you know, Jane, and I'm going, how many of you are sitting there, honestly, be honest, and going, I can't afford that. Like, are you kidding me? Like, no way. That was me. Even I could afford it. And I thought, that's ridiculous. I've spent my entire life, I'm 47 years old. I've spent my entire life. Now I've got a point to this and I'll wrap it up. But Kristen laying that out, here's where Kristen got my mindset. And I can point to Tammy, Dr. Kristal, Andrea, like Robin. They got my mindset around what's the value of your health? If you're going to go to the doctor as you age, if you're going to take medications as you age, like what does that add up to? And to Kristen's point of view, when she said people go buy Louis Vuitton bag, like they got to have the stuff and they jeopardize their health. I share that with you because in 2022, I made a shift at the end of 2022 because of all of you. So thank you for that. And I used Renew as my gateway, and I started layering product. 26 pounds down, not patting myself on the back. It's really because of this group. 26 pounds down today. In the gym every morning. I feel better. I'm in better shape, better health today at 47 than I was in my 30s. Inside and out. And I'm just going, like, that's what it's about, because my future self, how much money would I add it up in doctor visits, prescription drugs over the years, but I'm taking control. I'm really investing in myself. So I don't know if anybody's out there that thinks like I do, but if that is you, like, and you thought that's way too many products, just think about that. And that's really where I made the shift here. So Chris, sorry to jump in, but I had to connect the dots. You really made me think different.
Well, I have to talk now because you just called me a nag publicly.
I love the nag. I mean, yeah.
Someone has to nag, okay? Someone has to be, and maybe like you are that in your family or with your friends where it's like, wait a minute, like you can make a difference in someone else's life by bringing up the things that we don't like to talk about. Here's the thing. When I see someone who's like, I just can't afford that Renew. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be straightforward and a little bold with you because they're telling me everything that's wrong that they have going on. And yet they have, I'm going to say it, ladies, they have this beautiful set of acrylic nails on. Do you know how much money nails are? They're not cheap.
I know.
And then you spend, what's your time worth that you spent in the chair getting them done? And yet that is a box of Renew. And Renew changes what Brent just said. It changes the quality of your life for fingernails. And so it's going through, like, I want you to go through and be like, where do I have expendable income that if I turned it around and loved on myself and my body with it, and try maybe a product or two that you haven't tried before. You heard her talk about Rejuvenex. How many of you have not tried Rejuvenex? It's the coolest product. It gives you energy and it's all with berries and fruits. It's not this caffeine buzz feeling. Or the new Lucem gel cleanser. Ladies, how many men, you can put this in the shower, and when you're taking a shower, just squirt, put it on and wash your face and see the difference that it changes. I want you to realize that all of the products that we have on the shelves to shop from, they're your inventory of your store, just like Jen had. And you don't talk about them if you haven't tried them, if you don't have an experience with them. So maybe it's once a month you add something from a shop live and you try it for the first time so that you have a story with it. Just like Kristen, her gold nugget was, had no use for Renew. It was for old people. And yet it's her #1 favorite product. Why? Because she was like, I've got people that are gonna want it and I need to try it so that I can at least talk about my experience. And her life and her businesses have totally changed because of her open mindset. Is your mind open? Is your store open? And most importantly, with the last 4 days for Catalyst Club, is your mouth open? Are you nagging your friends? Because the biggest nag has the biggest paycheck. I'm gonna nag more.
I'm grateful for the naggers.
I didn't call it a nag before, but I mean, I know I'm persistent. I know someone said, how many times you call somebody? And I said, till they don't take my call. Kristen, thanks for jumping on. I know you've got other things to take care of, and you've got birthday parties and this 8-year-old. We had 2 people that are busy with business and still got on him. We're going to go to a coach, and I'm going to turn this one to Ken Bailey and Coach Palmer, because we got a coach here from this someone who is brand new, working on Catalyst, but more importantly, he's working on his health. And I think he's actually a part of your business, Ken. I think he's in your team, but it doesn't matter. We're all in the same team. I believe it's AJ Hendrix. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
You got it. You got it, Chris. Right before we get to AJ there, I want to thank Kristen. She had so much to the younger folks. And I mean, her knowledge and whatever, for people to realize these products work for all ages, and just a big help to us. So, and by the way, she's talking about BioPro-Q, Chris. I've asked Dr. Ray Strand and Deanna Latson multiple times what's their #1 product they would take, and it was BioPro-Q, because of what it does at the cellular level and whatever, above all of our products, which is kind of surprising. So we just got so many great products. But a real quick training tip: don't try to take all these products at one time to new people. Just pick your first 1, 2, or 3 products. I promise you, Chris didn't take 15 products to Kristen in the beginning, but she's using all those now, right? So just keep it to 2 or 3 products, like we did with AJ that he's getting ready to talk about. It's a transformation pack: the drops, the Rejuvenex, the MOA. He may have already started some others by now, but keep it simple before you go into that. But Todd Rowland is not able to be on with us. He is in Lexington, Kentucky, of all places, Chris. Think about that. Exactly 10 years to the day when our previous company left us, and we're blessed to be at this company. So exactly January 28th of 2013. Pretty amazing. There's no coincidences in life. God's leading us here. But anyway, AJ is related to Todd. I think maybe second cousins or first cousins or something like that. He in-law, cousin-in-law, I believe it is, AJ. He's a coach, as Brent is. Todd was a coach, but he's only been, he could tell us exactly, maybe 2 weeks, has had remarkable success already with our weight loss and those products. And AJ, if you would just kind of introduce yourself and give us your testimony there, buddy. I believe you're in Georgia, South Georgia, right?
Yes, sir. I'm in South Georgia. Been a coach for 15 years of my life, and I was heavier when Todd called about the company. I am Todd Rowland's first cousin-in-law. I'm married to his first cousin, and so he called and talked to my wife and my mother-in-law about this company. And I sat down on a Zoom after coming back from church and listened, and I said, I had been a part of one time years ago of another quote unquote weight loss company with some multi-level marketing involved, and it just wasn't the same vibe as what I got here. So I said, you know what, let me try. Send me the information. It was important to me because I had I hadn't even told Ken and Todd, I had a radical left nephrectomy. I had stage 2 kidney cancer in May of last year. Just found it by the grace of God. I found it while going to get a checkup on a hernia. And so I went to MD Anderson down in Jacksonville anyway. And so I sent it to my oncologist, said, is all this going to be okay to take? So nurse calls back, yeah, you're good to go, green light you. So I started the transformation pack, like Ken said, 12 days ago. And I stepped on the scale this morning just to give you an accurate weight loss. And I have lost 16 pounds in 12 days. And now I told Todd, as any coach can identify with, we are dogmatic about following what it takes to be successful. So if these folks tell me this is what it's going to take to be successful, then I'm going to eat what it takes to be successful. You know, I'm not going to go to the mechanic and tell him how to install my motor. I'm just going to listen and do what he says and change the oil when he says and what have you. So I did that in 12 days. And then, as Ken said, a week ago, actually, let me tell you back today, last night was night 4 nights ago. Me and my wife started Renew. My father-in-law was taking it, and he was getting up less during the night. He was sleeping better. And I said, well, and then he's not even doing anything, and he's lost like 8 pounds. I said, well heck, I want to sleep better. You know, I'm heavier than I was when I played college football in the triple option. So I was over 300 pounds. And I said, well, heck, that, you know, A, is going to help me sleep better. B, it's supposed to, like the first guest said, you know, has these amino acids I'm going to absorb better. And then I said, well, heck, if it, you know, let me just add it in. So Todd told me that in the first night, I was probably going to see a difference. So I take it on a Tuesday night. Wednesday, I get up and I go to work. And halfway through the day, the kids are like, Coach, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, I was a big Red Bull drinker, especially during football season. I would probably drink 4 to 6 Red Bulls a day because I'm sleeping 4 hours at night. Like, Coach, you had Red Bull today? No, I haven't. I'm not even noticing it. I'm just, you know, full of energy. And then when it's not football season and it's in my downtime, most days I'm going to come home at 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'm going to get a 30-minute nap. I haven't taken a nap, hadn't even desired to take a nap since I started Renew. So those are my products, and those are my little less than 2-week testimony.
AJ, that is outstanding. That's the beauty of this program. Typical diet, so to speak, trying to lose 16 pounds, you would feel awful and be starving and hangry and whatever. Isn't it wonderful how good you feel while you're losing the weight and have an opportunity to share it with other people and create an income?
Oh, that's exactly right. You know, I have probably in the last week, I have been able to share this company with several people, and they're signing up signed up and are waiting on, you know, some of them are waiting on the next paycheck or something, but signing up to not only try the products, but to be brand partners already. And I'm not, you know, the other, like I mentioned, the other multi-level marketing, they told us to go look for other people that could market things. And Coach Palmer 2 weeks ago on a Zoom said something that clicked with me because I am a ball coach at heart. And I'm in the kid business. Coaching football is just a byproduct of being in the kid business and investing in kids. And Coach Palmer said, find 4 people that you care about, you want to invest in their health. And that's so much different to me because I can do that. I can go find people that I care about. Hey, you got, you know, just thinking about you because these are some products I came across that were great for me. I've already experienced this in 2 weeks. Would you be willing to sit down and listen to someone who knows a heck of a lot more about them than I do? And that's just so easy.
Very good, AJ. Brent, you got anything, buddy?
I do. Coach, the only thing I asked for since I threw that line across on the 4 and you ran with it is I want to come to South Georgia and we talk just a little X's and O's because I still like talking X's and O's. I still like Tad Niblett's a part of this organization. He's up in Georgia, and that is an amazing testimony, Coach. And here's what I gather from that, and I hope everybody else on the Zoom does too. Coach had a not so good experience with another network marketing company. Transition He just said Todd Rowland's kin to him, and Todd's been a part of this company for a long time. And then he brings it to him now. Okay. That should tell you Todd's excitement for the future. That should tell you Coach Todd Rowland's excitement for where we're going. That he's wanting to involve his kin folks. That's country, right? That's Southern slang, kin folks. But then think about this. I can imagine Coach walking through when he saw Coach Rowland on a Zoom and almost being a little bit arms crossed, like, I don't know, that's probably another one of those. 2 weeks later, 16 pounds down. 2 weeks later, 16 pounds down. Now tell me you don't have 4 people like close to your arm that you couldn't do the same thing that Todd Rowland did with Coach. Amazing testimony, Coach. I'm excited about meeting you in person. I'm serious about the X's and O's. I love coaches all over the world. So,
well, y'all come on down. Listen, we don't have the pretty water that Todd has on the Gulf Coast, but I am, matter of fact, I'm in Brunswick, Georgia today. My wife's I'm skipping a camp meeting to talk at church because I had forgotten that was this weekend, but I couldn't tell Todd when I remembered 2 days ago because he had already sent the information out. So I'm honoring my commitment to Todd to talk today. But y'all come, anybody wants to come on down. We live 35 minutes away from Jekyll Island, Sea Island, St. Simon's. So you come on down and we can get some good fresh fried shrimp or grilled shrimp, and we can talk all the ball you want.
I only got one problem with AJ. He's a Cowboys fan. Todd can't help himself.
Wait, I am too.
I know.
I knew I liked you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Hey,
AJ.
thanks for
Thanks
being
all the
on.
guests. Thanks, Chris, for always giving us this platform for all these years. And we'll turn it back to Chris and Dr. Kristen.
You know, I love having the fact that I hope people realize when people say, who's going to do this? You got a football coach, and our first 2 guests were both business owners. Kristen doesn't have a nutrition store. She didn't, but I guess she does now because she's got it in her gym. But think about what Jen's done. I want you to really get that. And she has literally got our products when she has competing products that she makes from the juice part. But I'm going to turn this, he doesn't even know it. Coach Palmer is always so good at closing out and guys, there is so much excitement right now. I don't even know what to say. I wish I could show you the hair standing up on my arms because my phone, I can't. I mean, Anthony had to take me off the screen because I've got text blowing up my phone with what's going on. Not only with this, some people don't even know about the Saturday morning. They're just working. I got a guy named Tim Mason who didn't understand what Catalyst was. He's one away, so I got to get more to be 3rd level, and he's wanting to listen in. And he started because of Noni. But I want to emphasize what Ken said, and I think Coach Palmer did that. We start hearing all these things that my daughter talks about. She started with the drops because she took them away from me. That's all she had. So, Coach, I want you to close us out and talk about the future. It's okay, we're over. Give us 4 or 5 minutes of why this is the time.
Yeah, this was a great Zoom for me this morning. I mean, plugging in the belief measure. I want all of you on the Zoom to know this. There's a stir in the network marketing profession right now as a whole. There's a stir going on. A lot of it's tied to the economy. A lot of it's tied to the health and wellness industry of coming out of COVID. A lot of it's tied to companies that want to embrace partnership with people, that want to help people bridge a gap from where they're at to where they want to go. But there's a stir in the air of companies that can embrace a body of love and support and unity and community. I'm telling you, those are the companies you're going to watch blow up over the next 10 years and beyond, is the companies that can embrace that body. We got our hands on one. And we launched the name of it February the 11th. We shout it from the rooftops to the world that does not know the name of it. We are going to be that company that partners with people and helps bridge that gap from where they are to where they want to go. There's a lot of people that's got unfinished business in their health, in their finances, in their investment portfolios, and they want help. And we got our hands on that company. And that's why right now the Catalyst Club is so big to us, because we look at it as the founding group of people that we love everybody. We're going to bring tens of thousands of customers all over the world into this new company on February the 11th. Do you realize that? And they're not going to be Catalyst Club, but we love them. We support them. We encourage them. We're glad they're a part of us. But the way we look at the Catalyst Club is this nucleus coming together of people that go, hey, I'm running into this new company. I've got my core group with me to go help us spread this name across the world that nobody knows about. And to create a characteristic and a feel that people want to be a part of. That's what we're starting February the 11th. We've already started for the last 3 months. And I applaud you, because you've taken a void over the last 3 months. And rather than sitting and going, you know what, I'll wait to tune into a call. I'll wait to enroll a brand partner. I'll wait to do a customer. I'm going to see how it feels. And I'm talking to all of you because you're on this call this morning. You decided to not sit and wait for the last 3 months. You decided to lead when you couldn't see the end of the staircase. You didn't know what it looked like. And I want to tell you, you should pat yourself on the back this morning. You should stand up tall. You should hold your shoulders back, because so many people that claim to be leaders would choose to wait. But let me tell you something, I'm honored to partner with you, because you chose to step in during this gap and go, I'm going to run now. I'm going to share now. I'm going to do what Todd Rowland did. I'm going to start reaching out to my family right now, my kin folks right now, and getting them involved in these amazing products. And just like Coach said, he's 16 pounds down over 2 weeks. That changes his life. And that's what we're about, affecting people's lives, one person at a time. And it truly is not about a company name. It truly is not about, some type of brand. It's truly about the people. And I believe we're a company that's formulating a group of people that care about people, that love people, that support people. And that's an unstoppable army. It always has been. So I'll just end with that. Anything we can do to get you to that Catalyst Club, we want to see you on that call February the 3rd with the corporate office and the executive team. We want you to be a part of that community. We'll find a way to get you across the finish line. Reach out, let your upline, let your leadership know I want to be there. And we will work with you to make sure that you are there with us inside of that group. Chris, Ken, Dr. Kristal, and the rest of you. I'm honored and excited, truly excited to be a part of this group that's going to take this name to the world.
Thank you, Coach. And one of the things I want to add to that, and I think Anthony posted in the thing, or somebody did, making sure you signed yourself up for 2 weeks from today for the launch party. Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm not saying anybody else should do this, but I highly recommend if you want your team to grow. We've made a decision. We're going to have a launch party as a team, and everybody in my area that wants to come to my house is we're going to have a party, and we're going to eat and drink, be merry, and listen to all the announcements on the screen together as a team. And guys, what does it take to be a party? More than one. There's 2 of you, 3 of you. It doesn't matter how big your party is, but the bigger the party, the more things you're going to be excited about. Coach Palmer, always thank you for being here. Ken, been friends a long time, but I don't think we could ever talk about being more excited than we are right now. Thanks for being on. Thanks to our guests, Kristen. They've all left. I think AJ had to get back to something. These football coaches all have the little tight thing. I can see that. Sorry, Cowboys fans. It'll be a next year. Sounds like the same old verse. My 49ers are in. Hey, Lucy, I see you're on with me. But guys, have a great day. Thanks for being on. we will be here next Saturday because obviously that's the week before the launch, but we won't be here the following Saturday. So not sure what the guests will be next week, but thanks for being here with us. Guys, Anthony, can you unmute everybody? We appreciate you all. It's just exciting times. Have a great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks so much, folks.
Awesome.